Top 10 Biggest Territorial Disputes in Africa. Hello explorers, welcome to another informative video presented to you by Display and thanks for watching. In this video, we shall count down the top 10 biggest territorial disputes in Africa. When it comes to territorial disputes across the globe, the list is long and ever-changing and unending. There are now more than 150 disputes on the way that involve territory, mostly in Africa, Asia and the Pacific region, but also in Europe and the Americas. Some of these disputes are on the distant horizon, some are long simmering and others are at their boiling point. At any one time in Africa from the immemorial, there has been no shortage of disputes either about territory or with the territorial dimension, which goes in as a testament to how the partition of Africa was a failure and a terrible idea to begin with. Of the numerous ones which have plagued the continent, we shall examine the biggest territorial disputes in Africa. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. In no particular order, here are the biggest territorial disputes in Africa. Number 10. Disputes between Kenya and South Sudan over the Lamy Triangle. The Lamy Triangle is a cartographic curiosity where South Sudan, Kenya and Ethiopia meet. To date, there has been no demarcation of this colonial border in East Africa, let alone any agreed definition, and it is often referred to as a dispute area. Despite the visible disputes, there has been limited public explanation as to how this situation came about. De facto controlled by Kenya, Ethiopian tribes have used and many raids in the land, but the Ethiopian government has never made claim to it. Agreeing it was Sudanese 1902, 1907 and 1972 treaties, arbitrarily defined, it measures between 10,320 and 14,000 square kilometers and is named after Anuak chief Lamy Akwon, but the territory is claimed by South Sudan and Kenya. In this context, Kenya and South Sudan recently organized a meeting of the Joint Technical Committee of the South Sudan-Kenya Border Commission, which will do the groundwork to establish where the two nations can agree the international boundary should be, which is important because several factors in the Lamy area could potentially give rise to conflict involving Kenya, South Sudan and Ethiopia, such as oil exploration, cattle raiding or the shrinking of Lake Turkana. Number 9. Dispute between Ivory Coast and Guinea over Kweba village area. Ivory Coast first president after achieving independence in 1960, Felix Houphouët-Boigny, who ruled for 3 decades, flung open the doors to migrants from across West Africa, seeking labor to develop the nation through agriculture. To encourage people to work plantations, he declared that the land belonged to whoever grew cash crops on it. The plan worked. Today, in addition to its cocoa dominance, Ivory Coast is Africa's leading natural rubber exporter, a major producer of palm oil and a regional player in the cotton sector. Last year, it became the world's top producer of cashew nuts, but the economic success came at the cost of a simmering conflict that pits ethnic groups who feel dispossessed of their native lands against migrant farmers. Many have lost their lives because of this land, over which the root cause of the conflicts include disputes over who is Ivorian in the land full of migrant farmers from neighborhood Burkina Faso and Mali. Number 8. Dispute between South Africa and Eswatini over Kangwane and Igwavuma. Eswatini is claiming territories with its state were confiscated during colonial times from it, and one of such is the Kangwane and Igwavuma. In mid-1982, a proposal was made public to incorporate a substantial land area of South Africa's tribal homeland of Kangwane and KwaZulu in the Kingdom of Swaziland. If such transaction should be completed, it would give hitherto landlocked Swaziland access to the sea with a potential port at Kosi Bay and would incorporate all areas of ethnic Swazi population into the kingdom. In return for South Africa, the land transfer would mean unspoken approval of apartheid policy, besides the advantage of creating a buffer zone against Marxist-oriented Mozambique. However, vehement opposition against it led to legal setbacks through court intervention in South Africa. But however, if the land deal succeeds, it would constitute an exchange unprecedented in world history. Number 7. Disputes between Egypt and Sudan over Lamy Triangle. The Lamy Triangle is an area of land measuring 20,580 square kilometers located on the northeast African coast of the Red Sea, and a disputed area created by the difference in the Egypt-Sudan border between the political boundary set in 1899 by the Anglo-Egyptian Condominium. With the independence of Sudan in 1956, both Egypt and the Sudan claimed sovereignty over the area. The area has been considered to be part of Sudan's Red Sea state and was included in local elections until the late 1980s. In 1994, the Egyptian military moved to take control of the area as a part of the Red Sea Governorate, and Egypt has been actively investing in it since then. Egypt has been recently categorical in rejecting international arbitration or even political negotiations regarding the area. Number 6. Dispute between Madagascar, Comoros and France over Bank Djibouti. France and Comoros claim the Bank Djibouti as part of their exclusive economic zones (EEZ). The reef is also claimed by Madagascar. From the French point of view, it is a part of the EEZ of Glorioso Islands, one of their scattered islands in the Indian Ocean. Madagascar announced its annexation in 1976, presumably because of the possibility of oil fields in the vicinity, but the Bank Djibouti is controlled in fact by the French forces Armée de la Zone Sud de l'Océan Indien. In 2012, France included the reef in the Parc Naturel Marin des Glorieuses, a marine protected area to preserve the endangered flora and fauna of the Glorioso Islands. Number 5. Dispute between Sudan and South Sudan over Abyei, Heglig, Joda, Kafia Kingi and Kaga between. One of the unfortunate situations that must arise when the country splits into two is disputed territories, which is what is going on between Sudan and South Sudan. After Sudan and South Sudan declared independence from Sudan, both Sudan and South Sudan have claimed many areas, including Heglig, Abyei, Jordan, Akafia, Kingley, and Kaga. These hot borderline disputes between the neighbors have led to many recent violent clashes around the Heglig oil field and other areas. There are at least 8 major border flashpoints between Sudan and South Sudan, as the precise location of the border between the two countries has not been agreed upon and demarcated. One of which was drawn known as the 1956 border is so messy that the two sides can't even agree on how much is disputed. With Sudan claiming 80% of the border, it has already been effectively agreed upon, while South Sudan says it's only 40%. Tensions have even led to many locations in the south being bombed by Sudanese planes. Number 4. Dispute between Eritrea and Djibouti over Dumeria Mountain, Ras Dumeria and Dumeria Island. After a 30-year armed struggle with Ethiopia, Eritrea gained international recognition and independence following its independence referendum overseen by the UN in 1993. But disputes over border towns eventually led to 2 years of war, claiming the lives of 80,000 people by the time it ended in 2000. Relative peace followed for the next 16 years, though that was broken again in June 2016 by clashes that reportedly killed hundreds and festered the tensions. Since 2010, the presence of Qatari peacekeepers has kept Eritrea and neighboring Djibouti from going to war over the disputed Dumeria Islands and mountain, which both countries claim. After the Qatari peacekeepers abandoned the area, Djibouti has accused Eritrea of trying to take advantage of the situation by occupying the disputed territories, and the African Union is trying to help stabilize the situation. Number 3. Dispute between Benin and Nigeria over several villages near the Okbara River. The Okbara River is a river of Benin originating in Bogu Department, which flows south and becomes the border between Nigeria and Benin before re-entering Benin and flowing into Oweme River, which ultimately drains into the Atlantic Ocean. Several villages along the river are disputed between Benin and Nigeria, formerly called the Dahomey. Nigeria and Benin share about 770 kilometers borderline. From a legal point of view, the boundary is clearly defined by two Anglo-French agreements in 1906 and 1914, but in practice, the absence of sufficient original demarcation has caused confusion, hence disputes. Number 2. Disputes between Burkina Faso and Benin over Kwalu village and surrounding area. Burkina Faso and Benin retain a border dispute at the 68-kilometer-square triangular area of land near the tri-point border with Togo. In a 2008 meeting, it was declared that the territory was a neutral zone, neither belonging to Burkina Faso nor Benin. According to the UN Refugee Agency, there are issues of children being born stateless in this area. However, a Benin Civil Registration Office has taken control of registering births in the area, but with such situations, it's only a matter of time before jealousy sets in and we have another boiling borderline dispute on our hands again. Number 1. Dispute between the UK, Mauritius and Maldives over Chagos Archipelago. The Chagos Archipelago are a group of 7 atolls comprising more than 60 individual tropical islands in the Indian Ocean, about 500 kilometers south of the Maldives archipelago. The sovereignty of the Chagos Archipelago is disputed between the United Kingdom and Mauritius. United Kingdom administers the archipelago as part of the British Indian Ocean Territory. An advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice has found the United Kingdom's administration to be unlawful and called upon the UK to complete the process of decolonization with respect to Mauritius. There you have it, explorers. Those were the top 10 biggest territories disputes in Africa. Thanks for watching this video, and if you did enjoy this video, do well to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.